to winemastery.co.uk. My name is John Lightfoot. This is
John Murphy.
And we're here to tell you all about wine, hopefully help you find the wine, if not the wines that you will absolutely love. And if you haven't already, if you've seen a couple of our videos, please click the like button at the end of this if you like it, and also subscribe. I only say that because some people right at the end think, oh, I'm on to the next video, and they forget to subscribe. So helping us get out there, subscribing, gets us out there and helps other people find us. So in this particular video, we are continuing our Chardonnay series. And I'm really enjoying it, actually, surprisingly more than I thought, because a lot of people use your ABC expression, don't they?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Anything but Chardonnay.
Thank you. Yeah.
It still goes on to this day.
And I think it's even I have to admit to have been affected by that. I've had a lot of Chardonnays I've not enjoyed, but actually in this series I'm coming across some really lovely Chardonnays. So in this one we're doing a double whammy really, because in amongst our videos, quite popular are the 19 Crimes videos, where we're doing the wines produced by 19 Crimes, and we're actually going to try their Chardonnay, obviously from Australia, and I'm sorry guys.
Again, I told him not to do it. Every time I said, don't do your Australian accent. He cannot resist.
Well, it's not really an Australian accent.
It's not, is it?
No.
It's not Australian.
But I like trying.
Carry on, John. You carry on.
Say I'm a tryer. So, this one is the 19 Crimes Chardonnay. Shall we have a look at the colour?
Let us do it, John.
Let's do it.
It's a nice, I'm going to call that a delicate, pale kind of yellow for a Chardonnay.
Very Chardonnay. It's not quite as golden or as rich as some Chardonnays. Not to say it's bad.
No, not at all.
It's not sort of quite as buttery as some Chardonnays. But I think it's still a lovely colour.
Yeah, definitely.
Still a lovely colour.
Yeah, it's still
it's still got that slight green tinge to it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that hint of green on there.
Yeah.
Let's have a go on the whole nose.
Okay. That's a lot more delicate than a lot of Chardonnays that we've been sort of tasting recently, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is. I mean, I'm getting the melon and the peachy nose is there, but it's a lot. For me, it's more like a honeyed sweetness in there.
It's not coming out and hitting you, is it?
No, you have to work for that.
Yeah. Not that's a bad thing necessarily.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think I'm going to get straight on and have a little taste of this one, John.
Good taste. That's confused me, because when I first took that, I thought, this doesn't taste like Chardonnay. It's not tasting, and then all of a sudden, whoa, there we go. Now there's Chardonnay. So it's like very sort of very delicate taste to begin with, and then it's sort of it sort of like came as a wave from the back. The Chardonnay taste cut in, but it's more. It tastes. I'm not sure if that's quite the right word, but it tasted more of a sophisticated Chardonnay.
Yeah, I think it's probably more refined. It's not quite as in your face. So I think this is going to be perfect for people who are just getting back into Chardonnay, because it isn't that in your face Chardonnay. For me, it starts off quite light and delicate, and almost the honey came through. But then, as you said, as it came through afterwards, that's when that stereotypical Chardonnay came in, but not like in your face. It's just like a little teetering there, with the melon and the tropical fruit. But that let you know that it is a Chardonnay. And then we'll come straight back again. There's none of that heavy, oaky. It's not overly buttery. I will say it's quite creamy. It's quite creamy. Nice mouthfeel there. I'd probably describe this as a refined Chardonnay, and definitely one that if you're on the cusp thinking, will I want I think it'd be a little eye opener for you, is this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is again £7, which is
£7. How do they do that for £7? I'm not complaining, not for a minute.
No, I mean, I think this list. I mean, I'm saying £7. I think this list price is higher, but I'm just going the sort of cheapest. Because obviously I wasn't going to buy it at full price.
So I was going with the cheapest. I wouldn't have thought that for one moment, Johnny. Who'd have thought for one moment?
I don't. I think it's up as high as I've seen it up as high as £9, and 200 pennies is a lot.
Fuck, I feel your pain there, John. I feel your pain.
You spend £2 a day. That's coming on 700 odd pounds a year. So you know it
John, just let it go. Let it go. It could go. I think we should have a channel about how much money you save over a week. That'd be very interesting. See you do your weekly shopping. Ooh, how much? Come on, how much? But no, getting back to the wine. That's actually, again, I'll come back and say it for £7. From what we have tried previously on different videos, I've paid similar kind of price to that. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's like I said, I'll go back to saying it's a delicate, refined Chardonnay.
Yeah. Again, I think that it's definitely one that stands on its own. You know, there's some wines that you just think you need to have food with this.
Yeah.
But this you could actually, you know, just at a party, you could really enjoy and not necessarily need food. But in terms of cheese, where would you go with this, John?
Well, I think in previous videos I've mentioned that I like to match blue cheeses to Chardonnays because the kind of weightiness and richness of them both, depending on the blue cheese, of course. But with this, I'm gonna go elsewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. I'm not saying that for 1 minute, but I just don't think it would take on any of the blue cheeses that I have in mind. So rather than that, I think I would put this with something like an Osorati, which is like a I can't even say the
An
word.
Osorati? It sounds like a bit like a car, an Osorati.
Osorati Brebiagoa.
Is it Italian?
No, it's Pyrenees, but I can't say the word. It's
Pyrenees. And that's the bit between France and Spain, isn't it?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's usually from there. It's a used milk cheese, but not like
Use.
a use.
Oh.
I use as the sheep, but it's just got a little bit more power than you usually find because used milk do tend to be quite mild, quite sweet. But I think that particular one would take that on quite nicely. Nice bit of flavour, but not too in your face, which is exactly how I describe that. Nice bit of flavour, but not too in your face.
So I'm going to challenge you now.
Go on.
Obviously, not everyone has access to such a wonderful cheese shop as Shervick's.
Okay.
And so, you know, some of us are sort of, you know, restricted to sort of looking in the supermarket. What is a more common cheese that they might be able to find in a supermarket around the world? Oh,
I'll be honest, because I don't really. I think.
You don't buy supermarket cheeses, obviously.
I don't, but I do look on the shelf because I like to keep on top of these. But
So
I would
do
go
I.
for something. Here we go. I think for this one, something like the Port Salut, which the Port Salut is one which is I think a little more readily available in supermarkets, or something like a Chaume, which is it's like a wash rind cheese, a little bit smell, a bit worth it. That would work well with that as well.
Where does that come from?
Chaume, Port Salut.
Which country is it?
Port Salut, and you know I've not sold it for years myself, so I think it's French, but I'm not 100% Port Salut. And you Chaume is French.
Well, I suppose you're struggling, so any port in a storm will be.
Oh dear me. Oh dear me, and I have to work with him. This is what I get. You guys don't see what's going on, but when the cameras turn off, you don't hear what he says. It's not good. But again, let's bring it back to the wine. I'm quite impressed with that one.
I'm very impressed with it, actually. You know, and I actually on this Chardonnay, I'm really pleased we're doing this series on Chardonnay because you know my opinion of Chardonnay was quite low, and it was always like I really don't like it. It's not very nice. But you know, the wines that we've tasted, the Chardonnays we've tasted, are really impressing me. And this, you know, again for £7, this seems like incredible value. You know, again, if someone had said to me, "Oh, you know, this is an artisan wine. It's it's grown and told me a story, and it costs £15," I would have thought, okay, you know.
Sorry, John, as I'm kind of trying to get in a dissector. It's just warming in the glass, warming in my mouth. I'm getting more melon in there as well now. So it's just like, it's developing. Now that's interesting. You know, for me, because a lot of wines will just, you have a taste, that's what it is, you know, and we've done it. But now, tasting it, I'm thinking, if we went back to the beginning and restarted this tasting of the wine, I might have a different opinion as it's warmed up slightly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
I think the other thing to just quickly mention, just coming to mention, is 19 Crimes, if you're not aware, they have a label, and if you just download the app and then sort of put the label in the screen of your camera, it actually then you get this like video telling you about that particular prisoner and what they were put down for and why they were sent to Australia. So
twice in one video, John. Twice in one video.
I know. We're probably going to have 0 viewers now in Australia. I do apologise. But you know, it is a nice little sort of you know to play around with. It's you know.
It's amusing. It's amusing.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it doesn't detract from the wine, but it's a little bit amusing, especially after you've had a few and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Absolutely. Okay, well,
so the
score, absolutely, the score. Let me go into Zen mode and think about a score. What have you got one?
I've got one.
Okay, you go first.
I'm going to go ahead and say 81.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, 79 was where I was coming from. And and when you said 81, I got 79 in my mind. And when you said 81, I thought, actually, is that a fairer score? So, you know, in no way do I decry those 2 points. It's well worth it. But
I just think for me, I think with the place this is going to sit in the Chardonnay world, I think I cannot stop thinking it's £7, and I think it is a nice bit of wine. It's got everything you want from a Chardonnay. Eventually, that would be a really good one to get people back onto the Chardonnay, into the Chardonnay world with. So for me, I think it deserves that.
It's really difficult, isn't it, when you're scoring, because we have a scoring that we know our parameters, but you know, you might think, oh, you know, there are other wines that get sort of 90s and 95s, and I have to say that probably those wines that get the 1995s are like really, well, tend to be more expensive and tend to be a lot more complex in terms of, you know, you appreciate all the complexities of them. But you know, in terms of when we are, 9 times out of 10 we're drinking, you know, good value everyday wine. You know, this hits the spot, doesn't it?
Well, definitely. I would go back. It's £7, but for me that is a very good bottle of wine for £7.
Do you have any idea what you would match, sort of pair this with in terms of food?
Well, it's quite a delicate one, this, isn't it? And usually in your mind, when you think of Chardonnays, you have set things that you would go for. This, again, I think it would take on fish very well. Obviously, a cheese platter. That would even do like a little, I'm thinking, antipasto. That would be nice, just like nibbling along.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's made me really want a bit of salami. Uh-oh, shouldn't have said that. Should not have said that.
I don't think you should.
Should not have said that. So let's move on very quickly. So yes, John, that was a wonderful Chardonnay. Thank you very much.
That was a very nice Chardonnay. Well worth getting. It is a global brand, so hopefully wherever you're viewing this, you will be able to get a bottle relatively local to you. So with that said, we will wish you a happy morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this video. Look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, chin chin.
Chin chin.